Hey guys, what it is, it's yo girl Cadillac. I am Cadillac Dixon. I am the Draw My Life prison wife. I am the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before it all fades to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. I am also the OG prison wife. Yes, girl, I have been a prison wife for the last 20 plus years. Ugh. Anyways, I'm here today. This is not quite prison related, but it's a problem that stacks on top of being a prison wife. Like, not only am I a single mother, was a single mother, but still trying to help my daughter out. So I'm still a single mother, girl, because you're going to always help your children. And my daughter at this point needs a lot of help, more than really I can give her, because there's some big things going on in her life. Oh girl, truly breaks my heart, the things that she is dealing with at her young age. And I just want to get myself financially in order so that she can be financially in order and our granddaughter could be in order, you know. Okay, and also stacked up on all of that, I have pain. Like, pain, girl. It is so many different things but through all the pain, I'm still moving. I'm still standing. Just like Monica said, I'm still standing, standing, standing. Anyways, I do have a lot of things going on. Not only am I legally blind, that has been an issue, but that's not really pain. It could be categorized as pain because of these hard contacts that I wear, girl. But I do have that can't even say it though, degenerative eye condition, to where soon, and almost whenever anybody, you know, I'm going to require a cornea transplant. Okay, so that don't really cause pain except for when them contacts hurting. That's going to be some pain with the transplant, but right now that's not a part of it. So I have that stacked on there as well. But what I'm talking about is the carpal tunnel, the sciatica, the pinched nerves, the 3 herniated discs in my neck, the 5 pinched nerves in my neck, the TMJ in my jaw, the slip disc in the bottom of my back, the constant tingling and pain and limited mobility. So let me take you back to the beginning where all these different things and issues came about. Okay, don't know how long we got together. I am in the hot car. We in Florida and it's hot. Yes. And this phone likes to overheat. It likes to lose charge. So, girl, and then I'm so sorry about the noise in the background. That is my AC. I do have it all the way down, but girl, I can't cut it off, because if I cut it off, ain't no telling. We'll be doing the hot box not the hot box challenge, the beat the heat challenge. And low-key, every time I am hot like this, I think about my loved one that is in prison. Florida has, I'm sorry, this is a plug, y'all. Florida has no AC in the prisons. And I already know what y'all gonna say, oh, well, they shouldn't have did what they did, and all that random stuff. These are humans, and some of them didn't do what they shouldn't have did, like my husband, who's wrongfully convicted, and some are over sentenced. But it is a basic human necessity for AC. So check the description box for that challenge that me and my nephews did, the Beat the Heat challenge. It was a simulator of the Florida DOC cell, showing and challenging lawmakers to do 3 minutes in a Florida DOC. They have a whole population of people. It's a whole underground city of people doing time in this heat. So we're just trying to see if you can do 3 minutes in that heat. Okay, back to the story. Anyways, so we have to go all the way back. The first issue that I had was carpal tunnel. Okay, so I got it because when I was younger, I used to do hair. I used to braid. I could braid so fast. And then later I started doing these things called silky dreads. Now they call them, I don't even know what they call them, but it's those coil dreads that you do. And I used to be able to braid so fast. We used to do things called pinch plaits, and that's hours of doing hair. And I could just braid like my life depended on it. I'll be braiding like this, girl. So I started doing everybody's hair like from high school into maybe 18, 19. Yeah, all that time I was doing hair. So I didn't go to hair school until 2003. By that time I was about 22. So I had been doing hair from the time I was in high school around 16, 17 to the age of 22 when I went to hair school. Okay, braiding and all of that. I kept trying to get myself away from braiding and doing extensions and doing other things, because what I started noticing when I would braid, the tips of my fingers would start tingling. And so I would just shake it out. Back then, I really didn't know what it was. I just shake it out. It felt like you went to sleep on your hand or something, or you slept the wrong way and you woke up and your hand was numb. That's how it feels. So, of course, when you do that, you shake it out, you get the blood flowing, and you're okay. Okay, I kept doing that. I didn't know that that was something wrong. And by not knowing, you don't take precautions. I didn't find out until it was past. It ain't too late, but it was past, like seeming like it's right up there to too late. Okay, so I did that for all those years. Finally, in 2003, when I had issues with college, I ended up dropping out. Husband went to prison. I had to leave college. I couldn't afford college, and even if I could afford it, because my husband was in prison, it was so hard to, because I didn't have another parent to be with. Parenting is two. So it was really difficult trying to be in college and, have a baby and still work overnight. So it was too much. So I said, okay, let me do hair school. I'm really good at hair. I didn't know that hair school is a lot of book work as well. It was a lot of money as well. I didn't, I just went off the assumption of, you think of the glamorous life when you're doing hair. When you think you're going to be a cosmetologist, girl. When you think you're going to be a cosmetologist, you think of the glamour side of it. You don't know that there's this whole background of scientific knowledge that you have to learn and absorb from books. And I had to have time. With a child, it's not that easy to just, go in and learn. So I get into hair school. I'm on the clinic floor. The clinic floor is what they consider the section that is actually set up like a salon. It looks like a full-fledged salon. And our school moved from one city where we had a okay looking salon facility, but girl, they remodeled this whole thing. It was so beautiful. It had the wood floors, the pretty wood floors. It had brand new equipment. Our old school didn't even have matching sink bowls. Wash the bowls to wash your hair. All that was all mismatched. It was dingy. The towels were peeling. Girl, this facility was so beautiful. It was so pretty. And then at that point, they started making us wear our school uniform, which actually had our, school's logo on it and everything. And it made us just feel, it makes you feel better about yourself. Because before, the school was kind of all willy-nilly and whatever goes and stuff. And then, no, it came to order. Okay, so I was doing hair on the clinic floor. I used to have a lot of clients coming in on Saturday mornings. We couldn't really I think they used to let us take tips. If I'm not mistaken, we could take tips, but we couldn't get paid for doing hair and stuff like that. So they would always give me the tougher clients, people that had, issues with their hair. It could have been someone who hasn't done their hair in a long time, like myself, girl. Oh my God. But people like that, I would get their hair in order. Whoever everybody else turned down, I didn't turn nobody down. I do not see me above nobody, and I don't see nobody above me. I feel like we're equal. So if I would want my hair done to the best of someone's ability, I'm going to do their hair to the best of my ability. So whatever hair that was thicker and harder to manage and wasn't maintained, they would give the person to me, because they know that I am going to do my due diligence to get their hair in order. And also, like, I was known for braids, and I was known for these crazy styles and stuff like that. And so a lot of that is hand manipulations, a lot of hand manipulations. And I kept feeling that tingling. So I'm like, I got to get away from this. I got to start doing other styles, like even hair coloring. Do you know that a hair colorist made more than someone that braided, though the braiding took way more time and effort? Okay, so though I couldn't wean myself off of doing the braids, because that's what everybody knew me for, the crazy coils and stuff, I'll link a video in the description box about some of my wild hair pieces and hairstyles. I always wanted something new and different, eye-catching, that nobody else has seen. And that was just how I was. I was not the one that did the same styles that I seen that were out and hot. I was doing something crazy and off the wall. Okay, so that's what people wanted, those different wild hairstyles. And so I kept doing the hair. I'm like, okay, I'll get through this. I'm trying to get money for my lawyer, for my husband. I got to take care of our daughter. So you know what, whatever, I got to do it. So midway through school, actually, I think it was before we even went to that second school. So that would have been only 2 to 3 months in. My hands completely go out. I couldn't pick nothing up. My hand would be like this. If you could see my hand, I couldn't close it. It even got to the point where I used to write Marcello all the time. I couldn't even write him a sentence. I could not write him a sentence. The minute I picked up a pencil to write, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" my hand would be numb, and I would have to hurry up and drop the pencil. I couldn't do anything. It was the points where I would go to sleep, and it's worse when you're waking up. My phone would ring. I couldn't even pick up my phone. I would have to scoop it up like this with 2 hands and get it up to my face like that. The hands would not move. And I didn't know that the tingling turns into feeling like electric shocks going up and down your hand. So you reach for something and it'll be like something pulls you back, like you were electrocuted or something. Or like if you've ever hit your elbow and then like feel like an electric shock goes through your arm, that's how it felt. Like something, like you gotta snatch it back because it feels like it's shocking you or something. And from that point, it moves on to being aching pain, just pain and numbness and swelling. So needless to say, sometimes it feels like my hands are just there, but they're not. You can't utilize them. Like even when I'm rushing into work, sometimes I have my bag, I have my phone, I have my cup of coffee, and my hand will be so numb. I will be holding on with dear life to not drop my coffee because the feeling in my hand is gone. Like I can't hold change. If you give me change to hold, it hurts so bad after like a couple of seconds. Change, if I have to put it in my pocket or I have to give it to somebody else to hold, because holding change does something to it's like your small motor skills. And I can't do it. It will hurt. I probably need to do a video showing you how long I can, hold change and stuff like that. So when I be running into work, sometimes I be wanting to drop my stuff because I literally cannot feel my hands at all. So end up in school. I'm in college. I have this child that I'm in hair school. I got put out of college, but that's a whole different story time. So I'm no longer in college. I'm in hair school. My father of my child and my fiance is in prison. I have a little baby, and I am trying to figure out a way to bring our family up so that we can get out of, that time in our life was supposed to be happy. That is supposed to be the happiest time and joyous time of your life, from 20 to 21 to 23. Me, it was, girl, it wasn't happy at all. Okay. So I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to find a way to get myself up. And I thought that hair would be that best way because I was so good at it. Girl, everybody in school. If there's anybody that find me from school, from CTI, I went to Career Training Institute. Yes. Anybody from CTI, girl, y'all know. Please chime in. They used to watch me. People would gather around in a circle and watch what I was doing. They wanted to know, what is she doing? Oh my gosh, how do you do that? I even used to cornrow differently. I had a whole different way of doing hair. And that might be the little backwards thinking stuff that goes on in my mind. But they always wanted to find out how I do what I do. So I was really good at it. So before we moved to the next school, I started having those issues, and I'm like, it's getting harder to do hair. Like, I'm going home in pain. I can't sleep. I can't. And so finally I go to the doctor. I can't remember how I ended up going to the doctor, to be honest, at the beginning. But anyways, my hands completely went out, and they did these, the doctor did these little things where they hooked up these they were wires and stuff, hooked them up to my hand. And what they did was they sent shocks. They sent waves of shocks through my hand. And I guess it was supposed to test how much feeling you're getting or how your nerves are reacting. It's something like that. I don't even know what that was called, girl. That was so freaking darn long ago. I'm 41, and this was more along when I was 22. So, girl, I don't know none of that. I can't remember that. But anyways, at the end of the test, they came out saying that I have severe carpal tunnel. Not even moderate, that could be fixed. Not even medium, that could be fixed. Because at your first signs of carpal tunnel, anybody, please, first signs of ringing and tingling in your hand, go to some doctor, or at least get you a splint to put on your hand. It can save your hands. I found out the hard way. Once you lose your hands, baby, there's so much else you cannot do. Because of the loss of ability in my hands, it's been so much that my art career has been on hold. I wanted to be a tattoo artist. Because of the carpal tunnel, I couldn't do that. I was a hairstylist, but I haven't got to that yet. But further along, I went to a salon, and I couldn't do the clippers because the clippers would send electric shocks up my arm. It is so much I could not do because of the carpal tunnel. I have been to so many freaking jobs because it irritates my carpal tunnel. So your hands are your lifeline to a career. It is very difficult. I'm not saying you cannot do it, because you could do anything. Anything can be done, but it's not easy at all. So, in the end of it, severe carpal tunnel in both hands, and I had nerve damage. Okay, and I was only 22. All right, so I'm like, wow. Instead of that making me drop out, because half the class that we started with dropped out. I was one of a few that actually started the beginning of the cosmetology course, finished, and took state board, and passed that thing with flying colors, girl. Yes. And went on to a salon. Okay. So, told me to get the splint, told me to sleep with it, and different things I can do. I think I went to an orthopedic. I started going to an orthopedic surgeon, and eventually they got to surgery. You need to have carpal tunnel surgery. That was by 2007. So I finished hair school in 2004. So by 2007, they said it was time to get carpal tunnel surgery. Okay. So they wanted me to do both hands, and really, it was really difficult. Ooh, okay, hold on. So 2007, I went for carpal tunnel surgery. What is so crazy, during the same weekend, my sister went for brain surgery. So my mother was with my sister, of course, because that's detrimental. That was crazy. Okay. So while she's in brain surgery, I was having the carpal tunnel surgery. And my mom's like, how do y'all schedule all this at the same time? Like, for real. So I had a friend of mine take me to my carpal tunnel surgery. Girl, all I remember was that doctor saying something, and I remember waking up. Now, this is the funny part. They was like, she should have been woke by now. And I was just snoring because, remember, I worked overnight at Walmart, and I think I had worked that night before. And my friend was like, no, that's how she really sleeps. Like, she's just tired because we worked last night. But he thought something was wrong while I wasn't waking up. He's like, she should be woke. That should have wore off by now. So I slept a while at the office, and she took me home. I had these stitches. I couldn't, they tell you carpal tunnel surgery is, it's an outpatient surgery. Baby, it hurts. That is some pain. It feels like someone splits, well, they do, splits your hand open, and it is so much pain just rushing through your hand throbbing. You can't sleep, you can't lay down, you can't sit up. It's horrible. I couldn't even put deodorant under my arm. Like, I had to go and ask somebody to put deodorant under my arm after I barely washed myself. And the thing was, that's when you realize who really cares about you, because everybody was tripping, didn't want to put no deodorant under my arm. So my baby girl tried to do it, but she's like poking me with the deodorant, like not even putting it on correctly. Girl, that was crazy. And so for a while, my hand felt the relief. Then I had to go to therapy afterwards, and it was this little bicycle thing. It was like a hand bicycle almost. You would do these motions. I would have putty where they would put pennies and stuff inside the putty, and I would have to find the pennies with just the tips of my fingers. I used to have to do like flexing and different exercises. Okay. And my hands started feeling a little bit better. I did the right hand because I am right-handed. I said that I would do the left hand later at another time, and I just never did. Okay. So ends up that carpal tunnel came back. Okay, so in 2007, I think that's when I was like, okay, so I'm going to try to go work back in a salon, because I think it ended up being about 2008 by the time I healed and was going back. I went back to Walmart, and y'all know that story, that how much I hated working at Walmart. I could put that in the description box as well. I just felt like crap because I worked there and I hated that place. That was a dark time in my life. They called it the blue hole. I was deep in that blue hole. Okay, so I was like, let me get out of here. I gotta go. So I think I took a leave of absence. I was so scared to leave though, because y'all remember I told y'all all the stuff I had built up into, Walmart. So I was scared to leave. So what I would do is ask for a leave of absence, and I would go out looking for a job while I was on leave of absence back then. Okay, so I found one job at this place. I think it's Westgate or something. I was working in a call center. And I was supposed to basically get other people to refer other people for Westgate to call for vacation packages and stuff. Okay, so that was kind of, it was a little typing. I've always been scared of typing jobs because Girl, I can't type like that. And it's not because I can't type, it's because it hurts to type. When my hands get in that typing position, it starts hurting that side muscle, like right there. So I can't type. It would take me forever. I peck type. If I've ever wrote you a message, if I've ever emailed you, I peck type that thing. And it took me 1,000,001 years, girl. I'm telling you. Okay, so that one, but I think it was the carpal tunnel issue didn't set in yet because I ended up getting sick and my throat was swollen, and I was telling them I couldn't, talk on the phone, and basically they was like, you have to. And I'm like, but I have no voice. And they're like, but you have to. So I literally on my lunch break never came back. I ain't show back up. Okay. So instead of going back to Walmart, I'm like, okay, so I'm on leave of absence. I definitely don't want to just return that fast. I got a job at Hair Cuttery. I was working at Hair Cuttery. Hair Cuttery has a lot of different ethnicities. You don't get a lot of ethnic hair like mine, though. You don't get a lot of my hair. So it wasn't, I did get a lot of braids, but it was the straighter texture and thinner texture hairs that you would have to use like some type of putty with to try to braid and stuff. But those don't really hurt your hand as much. It's just more so trying to keep it neat because it doesn't stay in the place that you leave it. Okay, so I did that for a little while. But the thing about the Hair Cuttery, they had so many clipper cuts. That was what everybody wanted. Clipper cut. Can I do that fast? Like 5 times fast? No, I can't. Anyways, I told you already how the clippers would start sending shocks. Like as I'm doing it, I'm like, my hand would literally get stuck. And I'm like, this person has like half their hair, half of their haircut. I cannot stop here. Come on, hands, do something. Do something. Girl, them hands wouldn't do nothing. They would go on the bed. But anyways, so I had to end up leaving the Hair Cuttery. And I don't know what did I do? I think I was taking a break or something like that. I don't know. But I had told another stylist that I might have to, I might have to leave, which the head salon owner there, or manager, because it was Hair Cuttery, she low-key had carpal tunnel, and she was going through a thing. Carpal tunnel for a hairstylist is bad. That is bad. That is horrible. That's a girl. So she was on the end of knowing that her career as a hairstylist is coming to an end as well. So she was kind of like, I don't know, she was going through a thing. Okay, so somebody told her that, hey, I think Keita has carpal tunnel, and she's thinking about. So it went around the salon that goddamn fast, and they went and told her, girl, that Keita might be looking for another job. How do you know she had my replacement there? Like within the next week, and it was like, I'm like, what? Why is she hiring new people? And find out the girl was to basically take my place because she overheard that I might be leaving. So, but yeah, I tried to hang in there, but them hands wouldn't allow me to. So I returned back with my tail between my legs to Walmart. Girl, second and third attempt to leave that place, gone. Hands too bad. All right. So we're at about 2008-ish. Okay, what's next? So it ends up that, so I returned back. So within that time frame, 2006-07, I'm doing cosmetology. I'm also rapping. Y'all know I did the rap career because I was gonna find a way up out that blue hole. Like, girl, I can't stay here. I can't stay. So I was doing the rapping, and you get the little issues with holding a microphone with carpal tunnel. Then Legally Blind, the little issues with the light blinding you when you're on stage. So good, I ain't had no type of accidents or nothing or whatever. But I ended up returning back to Walmart. Okay, so I go through this whole long depression because now I feel like I have failed, and I just continue to fail. Like, I don't fail and then get up and then make it. I fail and then I get up and I try again, and then I fail and then I get up and I try again and then I fail. Like, and so on, girl. So I go back to Walmart again. All right, so I was rapping and working overnight at Walmart until I think I quit rapping at 2011. And that's because I hit age 30. And I was like, I'm 30. The industry. Now, you see all these 30-year-olds up here rapping. But back then, they wanted you to think that was old and like prehistoric. And you couldn't, oh no, there's no way you could rap at 30. Girl. So I quit because I was old to the industry. So ended up stopping rapping. And I still had these issues, but I was at Walmart. Now, at Walmart, I did have several issues with the carpal tunnel when they put me in the shoe section. They put me in shoes. And the one issue with the shoes, like, I could put the shoes on the shelf. I love the shoe department. I used to write my songs in my head. It was a good, good to be off the register, because sometimes ringing all that stuff on the register numbs up your hands. Girl, what don't hurt my hands? So, end up the shoe department, they put me over there. They just asked me to go there. I was doing a good job to the point where they just kept sending me. And it eventually, once I do something so long, you have something called muscle memory, and your muscles remember when something hurt. They do. Okay, so what would hurt was when we had to do something called pulling we would pick the shoes from the back. So the shoes are in a shoebox, and you would have to grab the shoebox like this off the shelf and put it down. Grab the shoebox off the shelf, put it, and we had those big old huge steel toe boots. Those were heavy, and I'm holding in my hand these big heavy shoes and repetitively doing this, and it's hurting. So I go to my manager and I'm like, I can't do this no more. I'm a cashier. Y'all keep putting me in shoes. I'm sorry. They tell me, until you get a doctor's note, you gonna do them shoes. And I'm like, but I can't do the shoes. And they're like, until you get a doctor's note, you gonna do them shoes, girl. Okay, let me find a doctor. Go find me a doctor. Got a referral from somebody I knew, and they was like, yeah, you should go to this doctor. Girl, he good, whatever. Writes me a note. I turn it in, and they're like, oh, okay, so now you can't work. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't work? Oh, this doctor note says blah, 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 blah. You can't work now. And I'm like, no, I just can't do the shoes. And they're like, no, you just can't work.